And we're live. Hi, everybody. I'm John Laspina, your Carnivore Teacher Alpha, and this is this week's version of Carnivore Sunday School. I'm really glad to be here. We have a special guest, Coach Lash, anxious to hear his story. And we also have our wonderful host, Juliet Edens. She's also a coach, and Coach George Goodenough. So before we get started, we'll just go around clockwise and do a brief introduction so our audience knows who we are and where we're from and maybe how long we've been carnivore, just real quick. And then we'll get to our special guest and he'll open up and tell us more details. So let's start with you, Juliet. You're up there on the top left.
Yay. As you see right there, I'm Coach Juliet Edens. I've been carnivore now, I think 17 months. It went so fast. Reverse type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, weaned from meds from severe depression, anxiety, lots of things. And today, I passed my Dr. Ken Berry PhD test, and I am done.
Good. That's great. Congratulations on that one, too. John Laspina, Carnivore Teacher Alpha. That's my YouTube channel. I've been carnivore for a little over 3 years. Before that, I was also low carb and did a lot of healing from the inside out, lost some weight. And now I'm a retired middle school teacher, 34 years. And I retired a few years ago. I decided to continue to teach here online. And I have a large audience of people who have asked me lots of questions about carnivore. And I'm still learning myself. So it's a perpetual thing where we constantly learn and grow together as a community. And that's why I'm here. George?
Yeah, so I'm George Goodenough from the town of Bridgewater in the southwest of England in the county of Somerset. Today marks the 4th year anniversary of the disastrous blood test that led me on this healing journey. And I have reverse type 2 diabetes and morbid obesity, lost 120 pounds, familiar story to most. I'm also married to the wonderful Lainey. Lainey is a cancer survivor. However, she has changed her mindset from February the 1st of this year when she hooks up with the fantastic DC Rebuilding over in Australia, whose own incredible story of cancer is an inspiration to her. She now works with him. She has her own coach, and the turnaround has been amazing. Cold showers, grounding. What else is breath work as well, DC's breath work. And she has repositioned herself from being a cancer sufferer and survivor to being now an influencer in our world, to which end she has signed up for the 3rd cohort of the Kilts Health coaching course. So she is shortly to become a coach in her own right. She has today completed the 2nd module. So that's 2 from 12 gone already. So I think she will probably be a coach a lot quicker than we were, because we had to actually go through the full 12-week course, whereas it's all now online. So highly recommended to anybody who wants to join in, and it's do it in your own time, at your own speed. So yeah, that's our story, myself and Lainey. And by the time Juliet arrives here in June, and by the time Dr. Kilts arrives here in June, we will be a full-blown Kilts Health coach household. So we very much look forward to it.
That's great. Coach Lash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am now officially a coach, Kilt certified also, coach. I've been carnivore for 790 days and pretty strict carnivore. Basically lion diet, ruminant meat, water, salt, and some seafood in there that I can tolerate as well.
All right, thank you. I love how people know their number, their actual day number. I don't know what my number is. I have to do the math to figure out the date, but that's fantastic. So you cheat.
You just Google.
That's fine. That's good. So and where are you from? And where are you living?
I am living in the panhandle of the United States on the Gulf in Florida, near Pensacola.
Okay, you're in my state, but in another time zone over there.
Another time zone, exactly.
I'm down in Boca. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, well, we'll start off with the standard question for our guest. How did you come to carnivore?
Well, I came to Carnivore after leaving the doctor's office for the last time about almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I'd say. I left the doctor's office, which was my dermatologist, and the reason I came to Carnivore is he wanted to put me on dual injections of immune suppressant drugs for the rest of my life, after already telling him I didn't want to go on all these different other drugs because of my depression, my suicidal thoughts, all the other reasons why I didn't want to take the drugs. And I was told him basically I was not going to let him inject me with those things because they were going to end up killing me and he was going to be responsible for that. So I left his office and told him I was going to go home and end my life. And when I got home, somehow Michaela Peterson popped up on my phone, and her TED Talk, I think it was like a 15-minute TED Talk that I watched, changed my entire outlook on everything. And I realized maybe there is a way out that I haven't heard of yet, that I haven't tried, because I tried everything. And so that's how I came to Carnivore.
Okay. Juliet, did you have a follow-up question for Lash?
Sorry, I tried to remove a comment and it's not
I
on
saw
my
that.
channel.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
see if I can do that. I think I can do that one.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
I just deleted it.
one thing, and I, because maybe I know your story a little bit, tell us what it was like with the various skin conditions. If you want to go as personal as you choose,
Absolutely.
because there's so many sufferers out there that have run out of hope.
Yes. So it started before the whole health issues started, before the skin even started. So mental health, age of 4 years old, I had my first suicidal thoughts and severe depression, and kept all that hidden pretty much most of my life. At the age of like 18, I went to the doctor because I thought I had some form of STD or something. And they laughed at me and said, no, it's psoriasis. So you're stuck with that the rest of your life. Here's some steroid cream. And I said, okay, whatever. What does that even mean? They didn't, nothing more than that. Here's some steroid cream. Just put this on like 6 times a day. So as the years progressed, my pain, and I had joint pain throughout my youth as well. And everyone said my joint pain was growing pains, or because I was skateboarding, or because I was, mountain biking, or whatever it was. They said it was because of different things. And my wrists were always in pain. My lower back was always in pain, my shoulders. And progressively, everything kept getting worse. And the only thing doctors kept doing was giving me different creams and different types of sprays and different topicals. So I lost health insurance and stopped using all that stuff. Went through steroid withdrawal, which made my skin even worse, right? So my skin had been thinned out so bad from the steroid creams that I would like rub up against cardboard and start bleeding. Anything. So progressively getting worse into my 40s, where it turned into debilitating. And the depression was awful. The suicidal thoughts were up to like 5 times a day. I didn't sleep from probably 18 years old till 48 years old. So 30 years of barely any sleep, because I was in pain and itching and bleeding all night from the skin issues and from the arthritis issues, because it is psoriatic arthritis that I finally was diagnosed with. So like in my mid 40s, it was getting so bad that it took over basically 90% of my body. I don't know if you have any photos that we can show, but if you do, we can throw them up. If not, everyone can go to my Instagram and see the photos before and after. So yeah, basically 90% coverage, could barely move, could barely walk, had to go to work still every day somehow and try and make a living. Life just was not comfortable. It was the most uncomfortable, miserable existence ever. And I prayed every single day to have one day like a normal human being and just see what it felt like, just to be normal, you know? Well, that day came within 7 days of going full lion, which is amazing. But yeah, I went back to the doctors after I got insurance again, and they just kept pushing harder and harder drugs. And my mom had been on a bunch of these drugs already for her arthritis, her psoriasis, her MS, and all these different things she had to deal with. So I didn't want to take them. I barely took ibuprofen for the pain. I just suffered through most of it. And yeah, so once the skin started clearing up and my brain started clearing up and the suicidal thoughts stopped, I mean, it's a miraculous whole new world. You can heal from this issue. And I know so many people suffer in silence with this because they don't want to show off how awful their skin looks. When you do go out in public and people do see it, they tend to freak out. They'll say awful things. They think it's contagious. And so you have to deal with a lot of that. So to all the people suffering in silence, like, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. I have friends who are suffering from something similar, but not over 90% of the body. That has to be so traumatic. And mental health is something that we don't talk enough about. And people are also suffering from that. I have been down the road a little bit. I can't imagine what it must be like to go through what you went through. But the keto. Now, tell us. All right, how did this turn the corner? How did the psoriasis disappear immediately? Did it take weeks or months for it to disappear on going carnivore, I assume?
So I started off elimination and fasting.
Okay.
And so in 2023, in middle of 2023, I was doing elimination fasting, and things were definitely getting better. Spots were shrinking. The itching started going down dramatically. Like when the itching started to disappear, like that's when I really knew something was dramatic. You know, something's really working. And also the brain fog. And the suicidal thoughts started clearing up and the depression started clearing up. But 2023, Thanksgiving, I was all alone, going through a breakup from like a 10-year relationship, just going through a rough time. And I thought maybe one piece of pumpkin pie. Well, that turned into the rest of the year eating like crap and going back into just full blown inflamed, even worse, just sicker than a dog. Could barely finish out the rest of that year at work. And so January 1st, 2024, which is why I know 790 days, it's easy to ask Google.
Okay.
I went lion, and within a week, my brain was so clear. I was freaking out. I couldn't believe this new connection with the universe that I was having. My skin just rapidly, it's hard to explain. The spots they would be red and hot and itchy, and you could put a infrared thermometer up to my skin in different places and see the 20-degree difference.
Wow.
Like my knees, my elbows, my legs. It was crazy. So that heat and the itch and the pain of that inflammation it just calmed, and the spots started disappearing. And when a spot would disappear, there'd be scarring, and then the scarring started slowly disappearing. That's not also what I didn't just change my diet. I lost 70 pounds, so I had to get all new clothes. So
Yeah.
I changed all my clothes to linen and cotton, like really got rid of all the synthetic fibers I could. And then I changed my soap to tallow soaps, my shampoo to tallow shampoo, my detergents to basically like 3-ingredient detergent. Household cleaning, I was already using like pretty clean products. But yeah, I changed a lot of that. I increased my meditation. I increased my exercise. I increased my reading. I increased my time out in the sun, which for me is huge. And for anyone with this condition is huge. Go get your sun. Throw away your sunglasses. You don't need sunglasses. We need this vitamin D. So yeah, a lot of changes.
Wow. Amazing.
I just want to add, if you have questions as we go along for Lash, please feel free to post them. I was going to ask you, Lash, is there, you changed a lot, and you answered the question before I was going to ask, is there anything today that you find might irritate some of your symptoms again, histamines or anything like that? And if I'm sorry if I misunderstood, are you pure lion today? And there's many non-carnivores, so maybe you could explain what that is. Lots of new people here, not in our niche, that are just sort of supporting us.
Sure.
So
So lion diet is a very strict form of carnivore diet. It's basically ruminant meat, water, and salt. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat bacon, pork. I don't eat dairy. Yeah, so I can't, and butter I can tolerate for the most part. I just don't do a lot of it because I'm extremely sensitive. Some people, this takes a lot longer to heal the gut. It's 47 years of damage that I'm trying to reverse. So it's not like it's an overnight thing. Like, I'm still healing after 790 days. I had a flare up last month due to stress, and a month before that due to moving stress. So stress will still give me some flare ups. They're not nearly as bad as used to be. Not nearly as painful. Not nearly as any of it. The symptoms, and the only thing that does flare up is a little bit of skin issues. No brain issues have come back at all. No suicide, not one suicidal thought in 790 days, which for me is a miracle, because fighting those every day was just a battle in its own. Oh, God. Yeah. Lost my train of thought because sorry, I get emotional when I think back to how crazy my days were and how amazing they are now. Yeah. So I hope I answered that. But yeah, I'm strict. I'm strict. I'm pretty strict as far as diet. Basically ruminant meat. I eat ground beef. I eat ground beef every day, basically, and then I treat myself with steaks from time to time and some seafood from time to time.
Beautiful. My question, that's a little bit like Juliet's, but a little more specific too. Do you know what specifically is causing this through the elimination process? I mean, I know you took it all out except for ruminant meat, salt and water, but did you find out specifically what was it that might be doing this? Did you try to add some things back in to test if it was that and then pull it back out?
I've tried to add eggs. I've tried to add dairy. I've tried to add bacon, butter, and I've had reactions to all of it.
Right.
So I'm still, it's definitely gut
Mhm.
issues. As far as autoimmune, I believe, I really believe a lot of it, if not most of it, stems from the gut.
Mhm.
And so healing the gut takes time. I ate a lot of raw vegetables for a long time. I was 2 ambulance rides to the hospital from kidney stones from all the raw spinach I was eating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically 5 days a week I would have raw salad for my main one meal a day, and then at night when the pain and depression would get worse, I would eat like a pint of Ben and Jerry's. Like, weirdest diets, and then wherever I lived at different times, like I've lived in Hawaii, I've lived in Miami, I've lived in the Northeast, I've lived in Colorado, I've lived all over the country, and I've eaten differently in different places as well, just depending, but yeah, right now I'm still very sensitive to even expanding into the carnivore range.
Wow.
And it took Michaela 8 years to be able to add one thing back into her diet.
Yeah.
So it takes time. It's cool.
Mhm.
I'm all the time in the world now.
Well, we do have a question, if we could sort of squeeze that in, from John, Together Strong, which, based on some of his comments, maybe could relate a lot to what you're experiencing, but particularly with the medical community. So he asked, what were some of your struggles specifically, with the medical profession? And
Every time I left the doctor's office, I felt worse than I did mentally than when I went in. Every single time. I felt belittled. I felt like I was a second-class citizen of some sort, like I was beneath them, like I was unfixable, like, oh God. I remember I went to the East Coast after leaving Hawaii thinking, the sand and the salt water in Hawaii and the sun every day was going to help me greatly. And it didn't, because in Hawaii I was eating raw vegetables every day. So I was getting worse when I lived on Hawaii. And I was like, how is this possible? I'm out in the sun and the water every day, but anyway, so went to the East Coast and went to the best dermatology at University of Pennsylvania, Penn State, or whatever, University of Penn. Yeah, there's apparently had like this super dermatologist doctor. Oh my God, he made me feel like I was this big. And like I remember leaving that office and just bawling for hours. And there was no solution. All he wanted to do was just shove drugs. And then I went to the rheumatologist there also. She was like, there's nothing wrong with your joint. There's no inflammation. I can't see anything. I'm like, lady, I'm dying here. I'm in so much pain. And it felt like at night, it felt like it would come from the inside of my bones and radiate just pain, and I'd spasm, and people wouldn't believe me. I don't know what it was. It was just the weirdest, and the dermatologist, he just wanted to keep slapping, steroids on me, or experimental, pills or experimental injections. So, that was another reason why I quit going to the doctor. Not only did I not have health insurance, but yeah. So, horrible with my entire existence in the medical world.
Yeah. Wow. As a coach, I'm a very good friend of John's, adore him. He really struggles, the same, sick of sardines, doing carnivore, lying, trying everything, and, just getting frustrated, not giving up, but it's a daily struggle when you're doing the right things and things aren't getting better, and you don't
Yeah.
have that doctor support. So you said you just stopped going to the doctor. You never just found someone that would
No,
help?
and then that last one, he was, first of all, he was obese, um, and his skin wasn't really looking real good for a dermatologist. And when, like, I'll never forget when he walked in there, and he like handed me those, and he put them in my hand, those needles. I was like, "What do you want me to do with this?" And he goes, "Oh, you do it yourself. It's easy. It's great. You just have to do it for the rest of your life." Meanwhile, it's like an $80,000 a year medication, right? That they want you on forever, and it destroys your immune system, and it makes you crazier upstairs. Like what? And they convince so many people that this is the way, and not once did And he knew I had depression. He knew I had suicidal thoughts, but yet they don't care. And that's why I told him. I said, "You're going to have my death on your hands if I take this." I said, "You don't want that." I said, "That's on you. So I'll go do it myself. Leave you out of it."
Figure it out. Cheryl shares with us, where she had very bad pain in her back. I understand. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. And yeah, 5 different meds.
Yeah.
She
Yeah. My
she had no
mom
pain.
was on so many meds for her pain. She's down to like 2 meds for like minor, one for her thyroid because they took it out. So that's a lifelong med. And then something else. But she went on this journey after, with me in Costa Rica. But she's doing so amazing. Yeah. Like they had her on meds for like 50 years. And like, I'm talking a box full of meds and painkillers out the wazoo. So she's doing great. Yeah.
And that's really, what's scary for me is, well, for any of us, but if you have underlying depression or anxiety, that many of us do have, but you have, pain medications for this or this, or when I had shoulder surgery, it got to the point by the time I think I had shoulder surgery at 57, I'm like, no, I'm just going to have to sit through this pain, because you add those medications on top of any depression or anxiety, or it's just a nightmare. But the two, and I don't want to sit here and doctor bash, but the ortho doesn't talk to the psych doctor and really understand those meds. So I get that they're in different little boxes, but we are one big organism, that these meds are impacting us.
Yeah, and people are having to take meds to deal with the reactions from the meds or the side effects from the med. Like that just blows my mind that you're given medications to deal with the medications to deal with the medications.
Polypharmacy. It's an issue. It's a big bad issue.
It's such an issue, and it's evil. It's as evil as this entire people that run this damn earth.
The system, the sick care system is what it is, and they're trained to think one way, and that is to diagnose and first of all see what insurance will pay and prescribe a pill.
Yeah,
they're not trained to talk about diet. I don't ever remember a doctor asking me, "What are you eating these days?" They never have ever asked me. And have they ever asked you?
Not once.
Not once.
No.
And it's the most important question. As you mentioned, stress and all the other things are factors, are variables, but what you put in your mouth, now I see it as the most common sense thing in the world. But
right.
I think the average person doesn't think so. And the doctors certainly don't. They're not trained that way. And if you go into the hospital, God forbid, what do they feed you?
Oh, crap.
Oh, my Lord. They feed you the very foods that are causing the problems.
Basically, it's like prison food.
It is. And you're paying
and the same
for
with school lunches. I mean, it's just crap,
It is.
It's so sad. And the children here in America are in such bad shape. It makes me so sad to see obese children. It's one of the things that we need to get a handle on so desperately in this country. is obesity in children. It's just how is this even
possible?
And everyone it's just normal. Now it's just become the norm. And then you got all these Instagram and TikTok people just gorging, and like people love, and then they're dying like every week. Another one's dead because he just gorged himself on video to death. And like, but people love that. It's great. That's why this is normal. I don't know. Some days I don't know what world I'm living in. Like, honestly.
We do have a question from Barbara from Grandma's Crochet
Oh, hey,
Corner.
Grandma.
Yeah, last night she had a dream. She was back to when she was at her worst time before carnivore, and she shared her story. So we know that was not good times. And she's asked if you have those moments where you drift back to how it was before you found carnivore.
I mean, only in
Nightmares.
every day. You know, I because the first thing I do is wake up and thank God that I'm in this new life. So I think about it every day, but I don't dwell on it. I actually take it as a gift, the whole journey at this point, to be honest, because if I didn't go through that, so many people that I've already helped, you know, in the last 2 years from being public wouldn't have been helped, you know, possibly. So I take it all, every bit of it, all of it, as a gift and a blessing. And it is, yeah. So I don't drift back in a negative way.
Did you ever hesitate to say, I found all this, now I want to tell everybody? Or were you like, I don't know if you're an introvert, but to say, I don't really want to go on YouTube and everything.
So I was a huge introvert because it was crazy, because I was a musician, and like I've been on stage in front of like 30,000, 40,000 people at times. But like I would hide before and after shows. Like my social media was private that whole time, whereas everybody else in the band was like trying to blow theirs up. But way introverted. So my mom kept telling me about this Carrie guy. And she's like, I watch this Carrie guy every day. He's amazing. He's doing a documentary. Reach out to him. I was like, okay. I'm like, and I didn't know anything about the communities or any of the stuff when I started this. All I knew about was Michaela and her journey, and Saladino, who was just doing, animal based. And that's where I had started. So, my mom was the one who kept telling me about Carrie. And so I finally emailed this Carrie guy, and he goes, I'd love to, have you on my YouTube channel and tell your story if you're down. And well, I did it, and I was a wreck. I was nervous. Oh, it was so hard for me. Gosh. And if you go back and look at that first interview, like it's, totally different from, all the things I'm doing now. So I was really nervous about it, but I realized that I had to do it, and this was a mission from God, and I had a new purpose in life, and I didn't know that was going to be my new purpose in life. I had no idea. I thought I was going to be dead every day. I thought every day was the end of my life, that I wouldn't make it through the evening, and I would end my life. So, I just realized at that point, I have to do this, and I have to. So I just started emailing everybody. You want to hear my story? You want to hear my story? So all the main doctors have been there, and then I got invited to go to Seattle to speak in front of people and to get filmed for the Healing Humanity documentary. And I was like, what is happening? And I've spoken at like, I don't know, 5, 6 meetups at this point, I think. And so I'll be in the documentary that's coming out in a couple months, and I'm not going to stop speaking. So anybody who will put me on their platform or invite me out to wherever they are to let me share, I will share. This is my mission in life.
We appreciate that. But let me ask you, I always have the odd questions. Are you a video, whatever the words are you a photographer by trade or anything? Because your pictures were awesome. You had the videos.
Oh,
I was wondering why you weren't speaking in Tampa a few weeks ago when I was there, and I'm like, but he's videoing everything.
I wasn't speaking because I didn't even know I was going until I was in I was in one of these Zoom calls one day, and I think Alia said, "We need help cooking all this meat," and I said, "Well, I'm only like, 500 miles or something away. I can drive there."
Yeah,
And so she's like, "All right, cool."
I tell you.
so, so that's how I ended up over there. And I always bring my camera because, yes, I'm a professional photographer, have been since the age of 11. I've been shooting. So I brought the camera and I said, well, in between cooking meat and cutting meat, I'll take some pictures because, I like to do that for people. And that turned into something else, which Dr. Kiltz is flying me out next weekend to do a photo shoot for him. So updating some new Kiltz pics. And so I'll be spending time at Kilty's again next weekend and get to do some portraits for him. And he's helped me out. And yeah, so if anyone in the carnivore world needs the best photography ever, hit me up because I need work. I need money.
Absolutely. And if we had some comments from Mason, you take gorgeous pics, and I agree. Amazing.
Thank you. I do have a new website that I'm building currently for photography in this new area that I'm in. So it doesn't have all of what I do, but it does have some of what I do, and you can go check that out. It's sugarsandshoots.com.
Sugar what?
Sugar sand. Yeah, it's hard to say really fast. Sugarsandshoots.com. Because the beach where I live now they call it sugar sand, the beach, the sand here. It's amazing. It's the most amazing sand you've ever felt. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see. We do have a quick question, unless you guys have one, but that's a good question though. Have you ever felt like the community, maybe because you suffered different, or I don't know, that they don't completely understand where you're coming from, and that?
No.
Yeah.
I honestly have been embraced by everybody in this community more than I ever expected. Like, I didn't even know there was community when, this whole journey started. And we need this. And yeah, everybody. And so I have this like family now of thousands of people, and George, like, everyone's, we're building this thing across the world. Like, so yeah, I've never had any issues with anyone. Yeah, I'm a little weird. Yeah, I'm a little different. Yeah, I have crazy hair. My journey's been insane. I'm gonna write it all down in the book because it's been, it's been a journey. But yeah, I love this community. Nothing but love.
I think sometimes when we're in a spot where we're not, I'm just guessing, when we're not in a point where we're getting the benefits that we see others all around us in carnivore, we're like, oh my gosh, I could almost, see that we sometimes need to reach out and realize that carnivore is not a magic pill.
No, and it's not easy. Like, you have to work hard, at this lifestyle because, right now I'm doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, right? So I'm 12 hours a day. I've got people's stinky poison in my car, and I have to go bring it to them. And I feel awful doing that because I don't want them to eat that. So, like, there's many different things that make this hard, but all of that outweighs the benefits that will come, and they will. And it does take time. You just have to dedicate yourself to this. And when you're struggling, reach out to us. Then that's what we're all here for. We will sit for hours and talk to any one of you, because that's just what we do. I know it. Like all of you, I know you'll do it. So
Yeah. And sometimes I feel one-on-one helps. Like, I know how to contact you, Lash, or John, or George. Sometimes the setting is, such that maybe just, through a link, or please call me, or I'm struggling, sometimes just talking it out one-on-one can help a little bit too when, the chats get big or there's so many people, you struggle a little bit.
yeah, I guess, you can get lost in, there's so many different groups, or, you signed up for every carnivore group, and then you feel lost. And I get it, because, I did the same thing when I started jumping into all the groups, but you find like where you fit, like you just find where it just all comes together. And between the Healing Humanity crew and the Kilts crew and all the different crews, they're all amazing, and that we're all just here to spread this and share stories and help.
So, congratulations on becoming a Kilt certified health coach.
You also.
Will we see you soon on a different platform with Kilts?
Yes, you will. You will see me on the Kilts Health platform for sure.
Yeah.
Working on that behind the scenes as we speak.
Awesome.
Yes. So yes, I will be available. I honestly, I would like people with autoimmune issues like psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis, and depression type stuff to reach out to me on that platform.
Yeah.
I may not be your most scientific coach out there, but I will definitely be your best friend through it.
And you've had the experience, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
That's the passion
really
right there. Absolutely.
Yep.
Wow. Quick question, Coach Lash. I don't know if you answered this earlier, but I'm curious. At what age did all of this start for you? Were you, as a child, did you have all these issues with your skin and your mood, or did this come on at a certain age, like puberty or later?
Right. So the depression and suicidal thoughts started at 4.
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pain started early teens in my
Oh,
joints, and
gosh.
like they said, it was growing pains. And then the skin was at like 18, 19 years old when I got diagnosed with this.
Wow. Are you seeing any common patterns with the people that you've met or you're working with when this kicks in for people?
No, but I am noticing that as far as skin issues, it's starting to kick in a lot earlier for people.
Is it?
Because of the diet.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I saw a commercial and it was kids talking about eczema medication. And I'm like, this is sickening. Now we have commercials and the kids are like, oh, take this drug and your skin will be clear in days. Like, are you kidding me right now? This is where, and so it is. You are seeing all of these things younger and younger and younger. You're seeing puberty happen younger. You're seeing obese children, like we said before, like all these medical issues. And now you have the kids on TV talking about the drugs that they're taking. Like, it's just mind blowing. Crazy.
It is. George, any thoughts? You've been real quiet. We don't want to.
Yeah, George, the quietest I've ever.
I was going to say, thank, as you know, John, my role is to, when it all goes quiet, is to jump in and see if I can come up with something. But, with such professionals, YouTube professionals on here, I'm unnecessary, really. However, what I would like to talk about really is something which Lash touched on earlier, and that is the community. And how we all sort of came together and really what it means to us. And for me, I met Lash. I became aware of Lash on the Kilts and with Kerry, and I've been following Lash's story ever since. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and of course, we recently, Lash, we followed your epic journey across the United States from California with your cat as well. So I think everybody became very personally involved with you from that point of view. And then, of course, most recently, we've seen you at the Kilts meetup when you did the excellent song afterwards as well with the video. I think we all enjoyed that. But I mean, there's one thing about this community which it just struck me today, and that's that I think in society in general, people put false heroes on pedestals. You know, whether it be a film star, whether it be a sports star. These people have, yeah, they're good at what they do. But I mean, the thing is, the people turn to heroes, and they're never going to meet them. They're never going to call them friends. They have fantasies about them. But here in the carnivore community, I have. My heroes are now my friends. Lash is definitely one of my heroes because what he's come through is unspeakable. And look at DC over in Australia, who's been told he was to go away and die twice, but he wouldn't do it. So it's incredible. I mean, and look at my friend Rebecca Johnson over in Spain, Cabana Chronicles, written off with multiple sclerosis, same story as Diane Ladd and Emily Penson. But she came back. She chose to live. And so I can't begin to count the number of heroes I have in our community, but they're all my friends. So I would ask you, in what other communities are there around the world that you can have heroes who also become your personal friends? I mean, personal friends to the point that I'm coming over to the States to meet everybody in September. You know, Juliet and Doug are coming over to meet me in June.
Where in September are you going?
I'm going to the Kalamazoo, the Impact with Robin Heron, Coach Robin Heron. Again, I think it's again another one of my great heroes is Robin. And Kilts will be there. I've already been lucky enough to meet Dr. Kilts, again one of my heroes. Certainly, when it comes to mindset, I've become very good friends with Kerry, hero stasis. So yeah, it's been a remarkable journey, and I'm just so proud to be part of this community. And I'm incredibly proud to have been able to integrate with the USA community and to become I'm kind of a music agent for Grandma because we do a lot of work together. I am
Grandma's killing it. She's amazing.
I am now a movie promoter because I'm the UK ambassador for Kerry over here in the UK for humanity. And today it became quite apparent on Facebook that I'm also a fashion icon because there was a very jokey Facebook today with some of our lioness friends all wearing their flat caps and saying, you know, I've got the George hat on now. So yeah, so fashion icon, movie promoter, music agent, and sort of friend with everybody, coach. But I mean, the most important thing is that you're all my heroes. Everybody in this chat, everybody on this screen, you're all my heroes. And you're also my friends, and I'm very proud of that fact. And long may it last, because we're only just beginning. We're reached the point now we're about to launch Healing Humanity. This isn't the end. Oh. And to borrow from Winston Churchill, it's not even the beginning of the end, but it may just be the end of the beginning. You know, we have to all stay together, and we have to keep on telling our stories. And your story is amazing, Lash. It really is. So anyway,
I'll never stop telling it.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't think any of us will, to be honest with you, because I'm on every opportunity, as you know. I mean, I get everywhere if I possibly can. I was on with DC in Queensland, Australia on Friday night. I was on with Grandma in Ohio this morning. Kilts came on this afternoon, so I took the opportunity there to jump on with him. Not quite sure where he was actually, but here I am somewhere. Yeah, exactly. And here I am with you guys tonight, based out of Missouri and Florida. The two channels. So yeah, it's a global village now. Get out there, make friends, think about traveling. If you are used to going on holidays every year, think about traveling internationally. Think about UK, think about traveling over to the States as myself and Lainey do. Or if you're in the USA, think about traveling across to us or even to Australia, as indeed Juliet is doing this year. There is nothing to stop us from actually meeting face to face. Rick earlier said he has been privileged enough to meet 3 of the 4 of us tonight. Mine being the odd one out. But Rick, one day, mate, we will do it because this is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
And that heart attack hasn't hit us yet, but you never know. So before that heart attack arrives, Rick, I do promise I will make it across to you. And no doubt, Lash, you're in Florida. So if Lainey and myself do, we will all meet up without a shadow of doubt. Okay, so having to stay quiet all evening, then I've had my moments in the limelight. So thank you very much, and I'll hand it back to you, the headmaster, John.
All right, thank you. Any other questions we have there, Juliet? Before, because this is precious time, we get to ask Coach Lash a question.
I would like to say hello to everybody in the chat. I see names popping up. I haven't looked up there yet. I'm looking up now. I see everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
A lot of
Thank
people
you.
on. Yeah.
Being here.
A lot of people came on to see you, Lash. I'm typing hi, Jonathan, so I called you Jonathan. Can't do two things at once. So what are you doing the rest of your day, Lash? What's going on? You do work out a lot too, right?
I do.
You talk about your weight training. Is that something you were coached in? You picked up yourself? Are you a personal trainer?
No, I just like to stay fit. Yeah, especially after losing 70 pounds, which was I didn't even know that was going to happen, or that I really need to lose 70 pounds. But I've always tried to at least stay a little bit fit and keep moving, especially with the arthritis. Like, I noticed the more I moved, as long as I was moving, I was semi-okay. But then the second I stopped, body all hell breaks loose. But I do about 30 minutes 4 to 5 times a week on my little total gym. And then I do some bodyboarding. I'll get in the ocean, I swim, I get on my bike, I'll go for bike rides, I go for runs and walks on the beach. But yeah, I just like to stay active, and now that I can move easier and better and I have more energy, I'm constantly I'm out and about all day, every day. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning every day, and I get sleep for the first time in my life. It's great.
Okay, we have a funny question, and I am listening. And when you're talking, Rick was like talking about how active you are, Charge Mopar, and I'm like, him too. He's on that bike, it's every day. So what is he? Where's my question? Oh well, okay. This is from Jonathan. You know Jonathan, right, Lash?
Yeah. I don't know. It's been 30 years since I've seen a comb or a scissor, and now I just use my my tallow soap to wash my hair.
Wash it up. That was the first thing I noticed when I met you in person. Besides how good looking you are, I was like, he has dreads down here. I was so excited. Because I never noticed on screen, because you always have your hair back. But yeah, first impressions, and I was just in love with your hair. So there we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm telling my husband, who's old and boring, and he's just like, okay, whatever. You guys know Doug. I'm teasing Doug. If you're watching, he doesn't watch. Go lard or go
but
home.
Today, the rest of my day today, I'm gonna jump into the golf and go for a swim, and then I'm gonna get back in the car and deliver more poison to people, because I still need to make some more cash. But hopefully the season.
I was going to say, Juliet,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I was just going to say is to Juliet. Juliet and Doug are actually coming over on holiday, but myself and Lainey are actually going on holiday with Juliet and Doug. So please big him up, Juliet. don't put him down. Sorry, Lash, I was just making a bit of a joke there.
You're good. You're good. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Well, we were talking about, briefly you talked about delivering that food, and Rick promptly put,
this is a seasonal.
He named it duck food, but if you don't deliver it, somebody else will. You can't change people.
Well,
with their
I should
choices.
be getting different work here soon.
Yeah,
because when the season kicks off here, and then also I think Kilts is going to have me at more things, doing more things as well.
You will.
So yeah, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of travel in my future, and that I will be face to face with a lot more of the world in my future. And whether that, is me speaking or me helping or me with a camera, all of it, it's all going to happen. So yeah, I look forward to meeting the world in person.
It's going to be huge.
Yes.
So I just noticed a comment. Sandy's like, leave her Doug alone.
Yeah. You're the pantomime villain all of a sudden, Juliet. I'm usually the pantomime villain, but you become it tonight.
And I have been to your side of the pond, George, so I need to get back over there. So I'll make it. I don't mind traveling internationally at all. Yeah,
absolutely. That's anytime, mate. I'd love to see. We'd love to see you over here. That you are well known over here as well.
Through the sun's got to be out though. You got to have some sun.
That's the problem, though,
right? June will be nice, I think.
It's hit and miss, but the sun always shines on the righteous. And for the first meetup last year, we had a glorious day. So let's hope we get the same thing again.
The one thing that, and I've been to England, a few times, and maybe it's because I live in Missouri, but the cost to go to England is about the same as for me to go to Chicago, to go to Philadelphia, to my corporate office. It's really not much more. And the savings on the lodging, it's amazing. I could go to Tampa or Philadelphia for vacation, almost, or England, and it's like the same spending, which is amazing to me.
And the great thing, Juliet, as well, is because, what I regard as a long drive of 2.5 hours from London Heathrow to me, you regard as a going around the block, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. So if you fly into Heathrow and you're coming to see me, and I will put you up in the family hotel local to me, the Tudor Hotel, then it's just hire the car from Heathrow, and it's a 2.5 hour drive to get here. So everything is local. The hotel that I'm going to be using to put my American friends up is I've known them for 56 of my 60 years. They've had it's been the same family since the 1st of April 1963. They are very carnivore friendly because I've got them trained. And anybody from the community who wants to come over, just notify me. I'll make the arrangements. You pick your car up at Heathrow and come and see. Have a good time. Come and have a good time.
I want to stay in a haunted castle.
I've on the itinerary. Okay, for the holiday, as Juliet will be able to tell you, I have ruined abbeys. I have the Bishop's Palace. I have a castle. Yes. I have a cathedral. I've got Cheddar Gorge and caves. So there's no shortage of ghosts here in Somerset. Oh, and where you will be staying in the Tudor Hotel if you come. That is rumored to be haunted because it was this. It was the site of something called the Bloody Assizes, where a lot of people were sentenced to death there. So if you want ghosts, we got ghosts.
Yeah. I don't want ghosts.
Cool.
We're at the top of the hour, guys. Here we only have a couple minutes, so let's go around and share where we can find you online. We'll start with you, Coach Lash. Can you share with the audience where people can find you and contact you?
For right now, you can find me on Instagram at Carnivore Healing Retreat. You can find me on YouTube at Coach Lash, and soon to be finding me on Kilt's Health at Coach Lash. Yeah. So, I think that's it for now. And Sugar Sand Shoots, check out my photography, and you can buy some prints there and support a wonderful person. You can actually buy prints of my work on there. So
Oh, cool. Excellent. All right, Juliet.
Yes, somebody asked. I am in Springfield, Missouri, which 4 or 5 hour drive from St. Louis or Kansas City, which is here, George, is just a half a day trip. No big deal. I'm on YouTube. I kept Coach Juliet Edens. Website's not up yet. It will be next week. We'll talk about it then. But if you'd like to join my new Facebook page, or it's actually a follow because it's a professional page, it's just Coach Juliet Edens on Facebook.
All right. And I'm Carnivore Teacher Alpha on YouTube and pretty much all the social media sites. I put the same a daily video up. I'm here every Sunday. I also go on Monday nights, not this Monday, but most Monday nights, and let the comments and the questions drive that discussion. Lots of people come on and ask questions about the topic. And yeah, I'm chugging along too, and just so happy to be here in this community, which is so supportive. George?
Yeah, best place to contact me is under George Goodenough on Facebook. You will find me on there. Very few of us. There is one other, I think, but he doesn't wear a flat cap, so you'll recognize me straight away with a microphone in my hand as well. So it's a dead giveaway. It's for me. I do have a YouTube channel, Good Enough for You, which is pretty much under wraps at the moment. Haven't really got time for it, and I need to develop technically. However, other than that, you'll find me just about everywhere else on other people's channels, especially in the lives on the KMT, Grandma's Crochet Corner every Sunday morning for me, but at 1:30 a.m. for you guys on Eastern Standard Time. You will find me with DC Rebuilding most Friday nights. You'll often find me with Juliet and Amy on their lives, and there's Miss Kitty. That's brilliant. Yeah, and you'll always find me in chat wherever Rick is, and Rick is here tonight. Basically, most of us here follow each other around chats and occasionally appearing on live. So wherever the KMT is, you will find me and all of my friends here in chat. So that's how you find me.
I was just going to get Rick to say, Rick, Rick has a black cat. You have a white cat with a black tail, I see.
Yeah. I very nearly forgot to give Rick his salutes tonight. So there we go.
There you go.
Correct.
We're a crazy bunch.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, next Sunday as well, we will have another special guest, as we always do. Thank you for coming to this one. And check out the show notes for all the information. Take care.
Show notes.
Yep.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.